Yes, I am. I am going live. It's been a while since we've done this. Um, we've had kind of an adventurous month. I'm going to tell you about it. We had kind of we had a few kerfuffles during our adventures. But for the last month, we've been traveling. We started in Connecticut. We went out to Nevada. We did shows in Nevada, in Fallon and Virginia City. Had a great time. It was really fun. The Virginia City show was in this old theater that had like all these old vaudeville people who'd been there. It was incredible. It was fun. And if you've never been to Virginia City, it's a quite an experience. It's like they've tried to keep it as much old Virginia City as they could, and it's an incredible experience. If you ever get a chance, go check out Virginia City, Nevada. Place is crazy, and people in Nevada are some of my favorite people in the whole world because they are all nuts. They're all good hearted, crazy people. It's like, but they're smart crazy. It's like it's like Florida has dumb crazy. Nevada has smart crazy. Nevada and Montana, very similar people hang out in those places, and I love them so much. They're amazing. They're so fun. But anyway, so we did Nevada. We did Virginia City. The next day we were in Fallon. We were in the movie theater. Great turnout, great show. Met, there were people who were cops. There were people who sold marijuana. There were school teachers. It was fun. It was a great show. And then we went on to California, and I hung out with some of my friends. Did a podcast, Midnight Mormons. If you have ever seen that, it was a fun experience, and did a few local things. Probably the biggest highlight of California, though, was I got to do a spot at the Hollywood Improv, which I don't know if you know this or not, but the Hollywood Improv is sort of one of those. It's one of those mecca locations for comedians. To be honest with you, it's one of those. Let me see. Hello, everybody. Everybody just saying hi. The Hollywood Improv is literally is one of those places that you hope as a comedian you someday get to grace the stage of, especially if you're outside of California and you never get the opportunity to perform there. I mean, if you're living in California and you kind of get in, you're there. But for me, being an outsider and just popping in and getting the opportunity to be on stage there was otherworldly. To be honest with you, it was incredible just to get to be there, hang out. Um, Bobby Lee was on the show. He was on just before I was on there, and I had worked with Bobby Lee in Salt Lake years ago, and he didn't recognize me at first, but as we got talking, he remembered who I was, and because back then I was clean shaven, I didn't look like this, and but we had a good conversation. Bobby Lee is nuts, but authentically, just a delightful human being. Um, Even he's got his look, he's got his issues, but he's a very nice person to me. Um, then Ali Wong went on right after me, so I had Bobby Lee before me, and then Ali Wong, and then Jamie Kennedy. So it was pretty cool. If you're going to go, it's one of those moments in as a comedian that you're going, yeah, that was cool. So it was awesome. It was awesome, and people were very kind and gracious and everything. But also in California, um, we did have an incident, and I'll tell you about what happened. I did a video about it, but let me tell you the details. So we had gotten, well, when we travel, um, we had, okay, all the shirts, all the merch that we make. When I say we, I mean Tressa, my lovely, darling, and beautiful wife. She took over the whole merch thing. And so she makes all the shirts. She presses them, she makes designs them, everything. It's her, it's Tressa. And so when we travel, we would bring heat press with us and we make the shirts. So when you order them, we would actually make them in the hotel room or wherever we're at. And so we had a topper on top of the car where we had all the t-shirt stuff, heat press and all that stuff. And well, we were at a place, we were staying in a friend's house, Carden Ellis, with Midnight Mormons. We were staying we were staying with his parents, who had a it had been an Airbnb thing, so they had a space. Then they stopped doing the Airbnb thing because it just wasn't that profitable. It wasn't worth the effort. And so we took it over. We were there. We said all the operations set up in there. But the only thing we had left in top of the car was t-shirts, a box of t-shirts that were already made, that we were selling at the show, at the shows, right? So when you come in and you come and see us, we want to have some for you to purchase, and that kind of stuff. And birthday, Danny. Hey, happy birthday. So at any rate, we're going out. We go out. We're doing stuff, and we decide to go get some lunch at Panda Express in Santa Clarita. It's in the middle of the day. I mean, literally is a busy parking lot, a very busy spot. We had no reason to be concerned. But we go, we were doing some laundry, right? So we had dropped stuff off the laundromat. It was in the dryers. So we thought, now's a good time. Let's go grab some lunch, come back, clothes will be dry. We'll go back home. So we go to dinner, Panda Express. We lunch. I talked to my friend Lori, Lou, and we're making arrangements to meet with her. I'm going to tell you about her. So anyway, we finish and we go out, and they have taken the top of this thing. They took the top off, took the top with them, and then took this big box full of T-shirts and calendars, and took off with it. But we assume, I think what happened was they probably saw us driving around and probably followed us for a while. And then when we stopped, they just jumped out, because there were 4 locks on this thing, but they figured out that they could pop them probably with a screwdriver. I mean, it's not the most secure system. Anyway, they popped them. They took the top off. They took the box of T-shirts and took off. And I was kind of, it was actually, it was a setback. I mean, obviously we lost the merchandise. We lost the topper's now completely worthless. The money, so we lost. It was a loss, but it wasn't even, if you ever had something stolen from you, you feel violated and you feel, oh, how dare you do that to me? I never felt that. I actually kind of felt bad for the person who they went through all this great effort to steal something, and when they got it, it was just a bunch of T-shirts that told you to enjoy your stupid life. What are they going to do with this? I got, try to sell it at swap meets or what? I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, they have 12 calendars of pictures of me. So I don't, if you don't know who I maybe they know who I am. Maybe they look me up and say, who is this weirdo that we just stole the stuff from? I don't know. But anyway, it's some dude in Santa Clarita. And here's the other thing, is a lot of these shirts were shirts that we haven't been able to sell because they were kind of odd sizes. We had 2X tall or extra small tall. They were just really hard to find sizes. And we had made them like we'd made them or for people, and then they decided that that's not what they wanted or whatever. So they were like mismatched sizes, and then there were some regular sizes as well. But so they stole all this stuff, and I don't know why. I what do you do? I mean, you can call the police. I mean, are you going to waste their time with that? I mean, there's the police aren't really going to do anything. There's, they're not going to go do investigative work for a bunch of crap that's stolen. They're not. Cops don't do that anymore. Not that they ever really did, unless they're bored. But we figured there were cops in California that probably had better things to do, so we didn't bother. We didn't bother to tell them or a reporter, and we're just like, well, okay. We feel bad for whoever stole the shirts. I think I was more bummed about losing the box and the topper, because now we had to find a way to replace it. And we went around trying to find a place to replace it. We couldn't find one that we wanted, and so we ended up just packing everything really weird. So all that stuff was gone. But in response to that, you guys have been amazing, because you just turned out in you guys overloaded us, and it's just so amazing. You guys came through and you started buying stuff from us. Went to our site and bought a bunch of stuff. And a lot of you guys were buying a shirt but paying for two. And I can't thank you enough. You guys, just your outpouring of support, love, everything through the whole thing has been extraordinary. Thank you. Thank you. So anyway, we go we recovered from that and then moved on to we went to Sedona, Arizona, and we had some friends who we met a few years ago through this. They live in Indiana, and they'd asked us to come visit them, and we stayed with them a couple times. They actually set up a show for us once, and so we've become good friends. They were going to be in Sedona. We were like close, and we're like, we'll come over and hang out, because I've never been to Sedona, and I've always wanted to go to. I've heard about it. And so we go, hung out there for a few days with our friends, and just it was beautiful. It was so amazing. They took us around, gave us a little tour of the place, and took it all. The place is beautiful. It was amazing. I hope to be able to go back there and do some shows sometime. We talked to some locals, and I think it's going to happen. I think we're going to come back to Sedona, Arizona, and do some shows. But then from there, we went on to Las Vegas, which was, again, we went and hung out with some fans who invited us over for Thanksgiving. And these people were so kind and so gracious. And we were planning on just going for a few hours. We thought, we don't know. We didn't want to overextend our welcome or whatever. We got there, and it was those situations where you just feel like you just connected with some old friends or family. I mean, that's really what it felt like. It was just an amazing time. We got there, and they're very talented and amazing people, and we hung out with them for a few hours. Well, what we thought was going to be a few hours, we ended up leaving at almost midnight. It was incredible. It was fun. It was a great time. And then, of course, we had good turnouts for the shows for Friday night at Wise Guys. It was a lot of fun. And then, interesting, Saturday, I got invited. Okay, so I didn't know what was going on, to be honest with you, because he invited me to come and be a part of this podcast thing he was doing, broadcast thing, where he's talking about. So this guy is things called Willful Warrior. Okay, just so you know, people are sending me things all the time, things to support. And I try to review them as much as I can and learn about as I can, especially things for veterans. Well, this guy had created this. He had an amazing story. So he was paralyzed. Let me just tell you the story. He was paralyzed. He could not walk. And they told him he would probably never walk. And so he decided he wasn't going to take this as an answer. He wasn't going to accept it. And so he got into neuroscience, and he got into breathing therapy and hypnosis and all of those kinds of things, kind of brought all these things together. And through breath work and meditation, and he has healed himself, and he is up and moving and walking, and is living a full life. And he has decided to take this, and he's sharing it with others and helping other people heal and start walking again and overcoming all kinds of problems. A lot of veterans with PTSD and stuff. And so it's mostly through breath work. If you're familiar with the work of Wim Hof, you know who he is that kind of stuff. And so we talked a couple times about this. And so he lives in Las Vegas. So when I get to Las Vegas, he invites me to come and participate in the thing. But I couldn't. I got in too late from Friday, so the Saturday morning part, I wasn't able to make to that part. But he's like, "Hey, we're doing a thing at 2:00. We're having a little get together." Now I'm thinking in my mind, right, that I'm going to a barbecue or something. When he says a little get together, I'm thinking, okay, a little barbecue. No, we get there and it's a full on workshop. There's people there. There's yoga mats out. And there's music, and there's a guy doing throat. Okay, and I'm working on the whole thing. I do it. It's going to be in my next comedy special. I'm going to tell you the whole story about this thing. And it was a lot of fun. But anyway, so I end up doing breathing exercises for an hour and a half, and it was pretty cool. Anyway, so I finally go. I do the show Saturday night at the Wise Guys. They came. The family that I had Thanksgiving dinner with, they were also there. So I talked about it all at the show, and it was a lot of fun. It was so much fun. So we finished up at Wise Guys that night, met a lot of wonderful people, had a great time. And then Sunday we headed back to Utah. Visited my sons. We have two boys that live in Utah, so we went up there, hung out there for a couple of days, and then headed back out to Missouri, visited with my mother for a little bit, and then from there on to Ohio, where I stopped and visited my daughter, who just moved into the Dayton area with her boyfriend, and visited with them and hung out with them, had a great time, nice visit. And then on to New Jersey. And we did a show at the Comedy Dojo of the East in New Jersey. Very fun show. Great comics were part of the show. The show from beginning to end was a lot of fun. Everybody who came out, we had a great time. It was a weird venue. Because it's the attic of this restaurant. And the food was fantastic. The service there were fantastic. The comics were fantastic. The audience was fantastic. It was so much fun. I enjoyed every moment of it. I hope to go back. We had a great time. And then came on back. And then Sunday morning, I went and filmed a Santa Claus thing. That will be out pretty soon. You'll see the Santa Claus. It's a little short video we just made for YouTube. That'll be out soon enough. It's just a silly thing. So anyway, that's what's been going on with me. That's been my month. We're now back here in Connecticut. I've got shows this weekend in um, at the Funny Bone on Saturday, 4 p.m. If you want to come out and see that, that's going to be fun. You get to hear the whole story about the breathing exercises. That was exciting, and a few other things. But it's been quite the adventure. So, but it's been a while since I've done one of these things. I thought I'd fill you in what's going on with me. While I was in California, we did some conversing about the possibility of making a movie. I have several people have contacted me about making a movie. But nothing is solidified yet. But we are working on it. I'm currently writing the script. I'm in a unique position where I can put something together, and I think we're going to get a pretty good feeling about getting it made. One way or another, we're going to get a movie made for Leonard. So it's going to be good. It's going to be good. All right, I got to put on my other glasses so I can read your comments. Thank you everybody for your very kind words. Yeah, I would like to get I want to get a comedy special on Netflix. I did make a movie and it's created some controversy already. I don't know if you guys are aware of this. There's a movie called Jeebus. And I will say this: if you're, it's somewhat irreverent. I will say that. And it's about American politics, is what it is. It's making fun of American politics, and I'm in it, and it's going to be released probably in April. We're shopping around. I don't know where it's going to end up at, but so that's it. That if you want an excuse to hate me, that'll probably be a good one. Anyway, I can't keep up with all your comments. There's a lot of, I'm going to be doing, okay, so the Santa thing, I am going to be doing Santa videos again this year. If you want me to do a personalized video for your child, I am happy to do it. I'd let them know that they're a good kid and that they're on the good list, and that they anything specific you want me to say to them, you can make the request. The best place to do that is if you follow my TikTok account. Send me a message there. If you want a free one, if you here's my deal: is if I don't want to make it paid only. So here's the deal with the Santa videos: I will make the Santa video for free for you, but you've got to request it either. Send me a message on Facebook or send me a message on TikTok, and I'll make the free Santa video for you. If you want to pay for it, if you want to give me money for it, then you can make the Santa request through the website, RodneyNorman.com. You can go in there and say you want a personalized Santa video by me, and what you say. And if you want to give me money for it, that's where you can go to give me money for doing a Santa video. But I don't want you to feel like you have to pay for the Santa video. Okay. Because I want, if you want your kid to have one, I'm happy to do it for free. But you got to get the requests in fairly quick, so I can because I get bogged down. I think the first year I did this, I did over 500 of them for free. So I expect it to be very close to that. So if you want, like I said, if you want a Santa video for your kid, I'm happy to do it. but just send me the request some way that I can find it. And I get to them as quickly as I can. And like I said, order now, or you get request them now so that I can get them done. Before Christmas is the goal. I had people, I couldn't believe it. Like Christmas Eve, I had like 30 of them came through. I was like, this. I kind of got it. I got to deliver presents to people. I can't. Santa's got some limitations. People. So that's what's going on with the Santa. And we're doing more Santa videos. I've got a friend here in Connecticut who has a production company, and he's the one who shot the film, the little short thing that we did with Santa. And it was so much fun. I really want to do more of those. I love doing stuff in front of the camera. I love acting. I love doing. Oh, hey, we got a thank you, Butler Outdoors in Canada. Thank you, man. Appreciate you hooking me up. Hey, thank you. I appreciate you, man. That is awesome of you. Appreciate it, Butler Outdoors Canada. Appreciate you. All right, am I in Cameo? Yes, I am on Cameo, and you can request a Santa video on Cameo. I think there's a place where you can actually specifically request Santa, or if not, just in the description, if you'll say that you want a Santa video. If they don't, at one point in time, there was a thing where you could click specifically for a Santa video on Cameo, but I don't know if the option's there anymore. So if you just make a simple request and then just put that you want a Santa video and who it's for and everything. So yeah, I do Cameo as well. In fact, I got a bunch of birthdays I gotta go do on Cameo. So finals week, have a good time. What's that? Okay. Whatever. Okay. Will Miss Claus make an appearance? You know what? I've not been able to convince her to appear, but I possibly could possibly get the missus to appear. I think that's a possibility. We need to see what we can do. Did I make a radical lifestyle? I'm currently doing just started. I do intermittent fasting, just so you know. I basically just don't eat breakfast, and I only eat between the hours of like 1 and 5. Usually, typically during the trip, it was kind of all over the place, so I wasn't that consistent with it. But fortunately, I didn't gain any weight during the trip, so that was nice. I didn't lose any, but I didn't gain a whole. I gained like 2 pounds. So, but currently my diet is mostly keto, but it's intermittent fasting along with keto is what's going on. So, and I do take a bunch of vitamins and stuff and nuts. I eat a lot of mixed nuts. But I'm going to participate in a handful of nuts. My questions. Oh, yeah. Meaning of life. Here comes meaning of life. God put you here. gave you agency, said, okay, here you go. What are you going to become with it? What are you going to do with yourself? You can become a complete self-absorbed jerk. You can do that. You want to become a beautiful human being who cares about others? You can do that too. That's it. That's it. We try to make it more complicated than that, but that's it. That's why we're here. So what are you doing with yourself? You have a purpose and meaning, and that purpose and meaning is blessing the lives of others. You got to figure it out. That's it. Absolutely. And you can try to make it more like esoteric or weird, or you got to climb mountains and talk to some guru or find some ancient book with secret writings or whatever. But when it comes right down to it, that's why we're here. It's a simulation. It's absolutely a simulation created by God. And it says here, you have complete and total freedom. Do whatever you want. And some of us do terrible, stupid things, and but a lot of us just enjoy living life and having a good time. That's it. That's it. That's it. You can try to make it more complicated if you want to, but it's just dumb. It's just dumb. You make it sound like you're being smart, but you're just being dumb. So a lot of people who sound like they're, we had to come up with all these weird interdimensional travel, whatever. It's just not garbage, nonsense. Just be a good person. Bless the lives of others. Don't hurt others. That's it. Anything else other than that is worthless and pointless to me. So that's why people go like, life is pointless and meaningless and blah, blah. It's because you've decided it is, and it will be. Most of philosophy makes it sound smart, but it's dumb. The more complicated they try to make it, the dumber they are, and the dumber we get. Yeah, be kind, be a good person. Don't hurt anybody. You had an interdimensional something or another. Your store list on your wall. Your visit along with, I think. Yeah, if you go back, to some of my earlier videos, is when I started working on Leonard. I was more organized at that point in time because I had an office space, and there was a whiteboard that shows up in the videos quite often. And if you look in the back, there's some little Easter eggs that I was sharing with people. I was doing more of that earlier on. Now a lot of times when I'm making videos, I'm driving in the middle of nowhere, so I don't really have time to set up the stuff. But when I was early on, when I was doing the videos, I was in an office, and so everything in the background basically meant something. What I was dressed, everything. I put more thought into it. So, and then they weren't going anywhere. And then when I stopped putting any thought into them, that's when people started paying attention. So just so you know, yeah, if you go to my YouTube channel, go back to the earlier parts, the earlier days of when I started doing Leonard and the motivational videos, it's evolved. I'll just say this. Leonard has evolved. Let's see. Did the CIA kill JFK? Yes, absolutely. No doubt about it. There's no doubt. There's no doubt about it. I mean, the whole Warren Commission was all on people who were in on it. Look, I was a Marine. Now, if you've ever shot a bolt action rifle, which is what they said Oswald used, there's no way that you can get 6 shots because you got to think about it. He's 6 shots is what killed Kennedy from one rifle above on a moving target. Now you gotta re-aim, shoot, and then reload the next shot, shoot it off. 6 shots in like 4 seconds. Now, granted, he was a Marine. If there's anybody who can do it, it's a Marine. But I just it just didn't make any sense. Is this a pre-recorded video? No, this is me. This is me live. I'm right here, just so you know. I was sitting here, I was going through some stuff, and I thought I haven't done this in a while. I've had to move my office downstairs. So that's why the background looks different. I moved office. And so I'm trying to set everything up. And while I was sitting here, yes, Cooper, it's true. Crayons are delicious, especially the orange ones. No, I was sitting here. I thought I haven't done an update for a while. I was going to do an update video. I thought, why don't I just go live? Let's go live. Let's share with the people what's going on. Tell you about all my adventures. So I'm having a good time. So I'm back in Connecticut now. We're going to be here for the next month. I'm going to be doing some Santa stuff. I've got a few shows I'm doing here locally. New Year's, I'm going to be at the McHugh's Comedy Club in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. So I'll be, if you want to come and ring in the new year, come and join me at McHugh's Comedy Club in New Hampshire. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you. Thank you, Steve and Crystal Lubinsky. Thank you. You guys are awesome. I've kind of neglected my videos. It was with all the travel and stuff, wasn't always in the best places to make videos, and kind of had just been off different things in my mind and just haven't really focused on them. And I need to get back to doing them. So I'm going to be back doing more Leonard and some other characters and just start having fun. Doing some more Santa, be doing some Santa videos and just having a lot more fun. But altogether, I just want to say thank you to everybody and just let you know that we are doing well. Me and Tressa are fine. Like I said, the theft was a bummer, but it was not the end of the world. A lot of it was just because of your kindness and your outpouring was so nice. You guys, thank you. I couldn't ask for a better group of people. Yes. Yeah, I met JP. I've worked with JP Sears several years ago. And when I was in Salt Lake, when we came back from Vegas to Salt Lake, I dropped in at the club to say hi because I'm friends with the club owner and people at the club. I love Wise Guys. It's really my home club. Wise Guys in Salt Lake City. That's my home club. That's, even though I live in Connecticut, that's my home club. And so I was there, and JP had been there that whole weekend. So we dropped in, and he was there, and we said hi because he knew who I was, and we're not besties by any stretch of imagination, but we're friendly. I know him, so yeah. And apparently, just posting a picture pissed some people off, and I just want to say, you need to calm down, people. If you're mad at me for a picture, look, I'm friends with people from every political spectrum you could possibly imagine. I have friends who are devoted communists, socialists, progressives, Democrats, the woke of the wokest of the woke, and also the most conservative and libertarians. I don't judge people according to what their political beliefs, their religious beliefs, their color, their skin, or any of that stuff. I judge people based on who they are. I don't allow any of those other, because there are good people from every walk of life. and there are horrible people from every walk of life. And to just completely discredit somebody based on their political or religious or whatever affiliations is childish and immature. And if you want to get mad at me because I posted a picture, which some people did, I lost some followers because I posted a picture of me with JP. Didn't say anything about politics. Just said, hey, I ran into this guy. And people got mad at me. And I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to get in a political debate with you about any of this stuff. That's your problem. Whatever. I'm going to be friends with everybody because I love everybody. People, unless they prove something otherwise. I feel bad for people. Ocean Rose, thank you for the kind donation. That is very kind of you. For those of you who are on Facebook or elsewhere, if you're following me on YouTube, you can do these super chats where you basically throw money at me, and then that gives me. It's hard to follow all of the conversation with everybody, but if you give me money, I see that, and then I'll acknowledge you because you gave me money, because it's pretty cool. Not that I don't dislike everybody else, but what is? So anyway, so yeah, I intentionally avoid politics. Because you could go talk about politics anywhere and everywhere, and I just don't. I intentionally just don't. I want to be child baby. Thank you. My goal, my theory behind what I'm doing is I really want to teach people how to make their personal life better. Because if you make your life better, you will help society be better. So by getting up here and getting all bent out of shape about politics and where that's one way to change the world. And if you want to do that, that's fine. But I see the way to make the world a better place is by helping individuals live a better life, to be a better person. You can get people to take care of themselves and be focused on doing what they could do to make themselves better and make their life better. That makes everybody else's lives better. When you make the lives around you better, and we all start doing that, then that's how you change society. You don't just change society by passing a law. Nothing has ever changed in society by passing a law or forming regulations or any of that nonsense. I mean, that does have benefits, but to say that it completely changes society, it's never worked. The way you change society, the way you make the world a better place is you help people be better at their life. You help people find purpose and meaning. You help people find within themselves the joy of serving others. You help others find God. You help others find purpose and meaning. That's what I'm taking upon myself. That's my goal. That's my job, is to help people live a better and happier life. And by doing so, they're going to help other people live better and happier lives. Your life is better when you take control, when you take responsibility, when you say, look, I'm not going to be a victim. I'm not going to accept all of this that's going on. I'm going to change who I am. I'm going to change the way I see the world. I'm going to be a better person. I'm going to be a happier person, and I'm going to help other people do the same. That's how I'm changing. That's how I want to change the world. That's the mission that I'm on. And that's why I don't do politics, because it alienates people, because you think that, well, if you believe that, then you disagree with me. And if you disagree with me, you're a horrible, rotten, terrible person, because you don't want to do things the way I want to do it. Which is dumb, which is really dumb, because when you come down to it, we all start talking about actual issues and you talk about what the real problems are. We all agree on the same thing. We all want clean and healthy places to live. We all want people to be happy and healthy and prosperous. We want people to have clean water. We want people to have good jobs. We want people to make good money and to be able to pay their bills. And we don't want crime. We all want the same things. It's just how we're going to about getting it. Well, arguing isn't going to change anything. By getting people to see that a lot of these changes that can happen in society start with you as an individual. Well, that's my goal. That's my job. That's what I'm doing here. So if you want to get mad at me because I post a picture of somebody you disagree with, that's your problem. I feel bad for you. I'm disappointed for you. Hoping that you'll see beyond those silly construct that the world is living under, and free yourself from it. Wake up. And one thing I will say this. I turned off comments on that particular picture on Instagram because of the fighting that was going on. People were arguing and bickering and going on and on. And then people started throwing out the word sheeple and all that. No, I was just like, I'm done. As soon as somebody throws out sheeple in the argument, I'm done, regardless of what side it comes from. The use of sheeple is the expression of somebody who's a sheeple. That's what I'm saying. Up your standards, my people. That's all I'm saying. Up your standards. Try to be just a decent human being. Seek to be a righteous person and not just be right all the time. You got to go in with some humility and saying, look, I know what I think, and I have my thoughts and my feelings, but I could be wrong. Maybe there is a better way to do things than what I think. Maybe there's better options. Maybe there's a better way to see things. Maybe when you approach life from that perspective, you'll be happier. So I have no look, people we had a lady who got mad at me and she had bought my calendar, and she was now disappointed because I had a picture with somebody she disagreed with, and because I had that picture and I didn't take it down or completely disavow him and destroy him as an individual, and say everything that she wanted me to say and be what she wanted me to be, or be what she thought. She wanted her money back. She wanted to return it, and we just gave her money back. We even the postage, we gave her a complete total refund and said, give the calendar away, throw it away. We don't care. We don't want to waste your time, or we don't want you to put any more effort into this than you already have. If you feel that way so strongly about that, didn't argue with her. I just said, we're giving your money back. Keep the calendar, throw it away. I don't care what you do with it. Because I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to let other people drag me down. I'm not going to let other people change who I am. I'm not going to let other people dictate to me what I should be or what I should do. If I'm not 100% with you and that bothers you, then please just go away. That's it. If you're not grown up enough to deal with the fact that other people disagree with you sometimes, you're living in a very shallow, difficult world. But go away. Leave me alone. I don't want to be participate in your psychosis. So, not going to change what I do and who I am, just because you disagree with. And you don't even disagree with me. You just disagree with the fact that I had a picture with somebody. That's just weird. That's just childish. Good riddance, my friend. Move on. Go find somebody in your echo chamber that makes you feel happy. Good luck. And I'm sorry. I still, nothing against I don't hold any animosity towards you at all. Now I get people who will say negative things about me, like people on Instagram, people on Facebook say negative things about me all the time. There's I don't, what is this guy? I can't understand why this guy's got so many blah blah. You know, they say negative things about me. I make it easy for them because obviously they don't have the sense to just move on with themselves. I'll just block them so that they don't ever have to see my stuff again. And I don't do it because I'm like, oh, I'll show you. I'm doing it as a courtesy. I mean, if you really don't like what I do, then I'll just block you. That way you never have to see my stuff again or interact with me. I'm doing you a favor. You say you don't like what I do. That's fine. I'm okay with that. I'm okay. I'm going to be just fine. So, but I'll block people just so they can not have to deal with me anymore. What's my favorite state? That's a good question. I've been to every single state in the union. Every single state. I've spent some time in most every state. I grew up in Utah and I love Utah. My only issue with Utah is that it's so overrun with so many people right now. It's just gotten over. There's just too many people in Utah. I mean, it's really hard to go do anything because the traffic is crazy and Utahns are crazy drivers. They've always have been. And then you get the influx of new people coming in who don't understand the subtleties of driving in Utah, and that adds to the confusion and horror of driving in Utah. But I love Utah. It is beautiful. The people there are wonderful. I love Utah. I've also lived in Nevada and love Nevada. I love the people in Nevada. They're so fun. I love Idaho. I love Montana. Tennessee. I've spent some time in Tennessee. I love it there. Kentucky, Virginia, North Carolina. I lived in North Carolina for many years. When we first got married, we lived in North Carolina because I was in the Marine Corps. And we met our good friends, the Wilkins, in North Carolina at Camp Lejeune. I got a brother who lives in North Carolina. Still love North Carolina. I haven't spent much time in Florida until the last couple of years, and now I love Florida. I love Florida. It is just, the people are crazy, but there's some good crazy in Florida. It's just beautiful. Florida is just beautiful. The beaches are amazing. People are amazing. There are a lot of insanity going on there. There's a lot of crime. That's probably my only big hang up with Florida. Florida and California have become kind of cesspools, unfortunately. But I mean, right now in Missouri, I like Missouri. If I could live anywhere right now, I mean, I love Connecticut, don't get me wrong, but it's just so expensive to live here and not particularly worth it in that regards. If I could live anywhere right now and move, I would probably right now move to Texas. So I guess that's the answer to your question. I think right now my favorite state, place I want to live, is Texas because I love Texas. I love the ideas, the mentality of Texas. It's cheap for the most part. I have a lot of friends, a family that lives in Texas. So, yeah. So Texas, I would say, or you know what? Tennessee actually is a place I've thought about moving to because I spent some time in the Nashville area. And I love Tennessee. I could see myself living in Tennessee. Hey, thank you, Heath Olson. Appreciate that. It's very kind of you. The whole state is woods. Don't believe the Orlando, Miami. I have. I've been all over Florida. I've like I said, I hadn't spent a lot of time there until the last couple of years. Now I go there quite a bit, and I've loved everywhere I've been. So I've been north, south. Or I haven't hung out in Miami at all, but the Tampa Bay area, I've been there quite a bit. Um, I did. Not Wisconsin. I spent some time in Wisconsin, not a lot. Have I been to Maine? Yes. Like I said, I live in Connecticut, and so I get to Maine a lot. In fact, I'm working right now. We've got a gentleman who's trying to put together some shows up in Portland. So I've done a lot of comedy up in Maine lately, and I'll be doing more. I'll be doing some more shows. Be good, be good, be good. Um, I do. I'm working on putting together some shows in. Okay, I'm going to be in Idaho in April. Um, in Rexburg, Idaho. It's on the website and LOL Rexburg, April. I forget the date. And then that next weekend, I'm going to be at the Wise Guys in Ogden, Utah, because they're not that far. Rexburg and by Western standards, they're not that far. I should say. That's the other thing is fun is traveling is that getting people understanding how the relation between distances are different from like in Connecticut, if I go to Massachusetts, people will freak out that I'm from out of state. And I'm like, I'm 20 miles away from my house. What are you? But they'll still freak out that I'm from Connecticut. So it's really quite funny. But you go back west, and if you see somebody in California from Utah, you don't think anything of it. I mean, it's just you just don't think anything of it. So I do love California. I mean, I've got some great friends in California. I love it when I go to California, but it's really changed quite a bit lately. Hey buddy, any plans for Detroit at all? Have you been here? Yeah, I did. Was it I did it was like a competition at the Mark Ridley's Comedy Castle, I think it is, years ago. I was just there for one night. But I would love to do Detroit. Yeah. I would love to come and do some comedy in Detroit. Um we are going to be focused more on doing more live shows in this next year. So and getting out and just making it happen. So, oh, Ryan B, thank you, Ryan B, appreciate you. Um, yes, Sarah, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's like it's I get now. Rhode Islanders are nuts because I've met people from Rhode Island who are proud of the fact that they've never left Rhode Island. It's really quite odd to me. But yeah, you'll show up in Connecticut plates, Connecticut in Rhode Island, and they're like, oh, that must have been so terrible. It's like it was a 45-minute drive to get to Providence. It wasn't that big of a deal. Calm down. I have to drive farther to get to a Walmart than, yeah. Yeah, California is beautiful. I agree, Tammy. Oh, I got to say about my friend Lori. She was so okay. So I met Lori through TikTok, right? Her name is Lori Lou from Malibu, and she grew up in Malibu. Her family still lives there, and she met with us when we were in California. We spent a day with her, and she took us around all over and showed us a great time. Me and the wife. She got us a little care package with a lot of really cool stuff. Um, it was just it. She was so kind. She could not have been nicer. And if you could find her, Lori Lou from Malibu on TikTok, go follow her. She's very funny. She does is very just a delightful human being. She's just one of those people that you just like being around because she's just so much fun and just a lovely human being. Um, we met her father and her stepmother, and uh, we went and toured. I made some videos when I was in California out on the beach. That's when I was with Lori, and we also did some from the Getty. Um, I guess there's a Getty Museum, and then there's a Getty Village. I guess we went to the Getty Village, and it was kind of weird because it's just Getty had a bunch of money, and so he wanted to spend it and show off. Is pretty much what it was. So we built this village that's kind of based on, um, is it Greece or is it Rome? Well, anyway, I don't know. Much. Anyway, it's just this. Just he's just spent a lot of money creating what looked like a Greek village, I guess. And it's fun to go hang out. It's interesting, but and we had fun. But she was just a delightful human being, and just I think of her fondly. And oh, Mark, I'm sure you're a melancholic personality. We still love and appreciate you for who you are. What, Walter O'Neill? Oh my goodness! I have not seen you. I was thinking about you just the other day. How you doing, Walter? Um, well, cool. Get a hold of me. Are you still in California? Is that where you're at? Walter is old friend, and uh, it's just good to hear from you, Walter. I was thinking about you just the other day. Getty Villa. It's a Roman era. That's what it is. Thank you. Yeah, the Getty Villa. It's a Roman era. Basically, he just had a whole bunch of money, and he wanted to share his love of this place of Rome architecture, and so he I guess you doing well. Moved to Vegas. Ah, Vegas. Oh, well, hey, we're going to be there. There's a Wise Guys in Vegas. I don't know if you're still doing comedy or not, but looks like you got a family going. Holy cow. Um, Walter O'Neill is a beautiful human being, by the way. I love this guy. Um, Next time I'm in Vegas, we'll have to hang out, Walter. Excuse me. These lives are these are fun. I really enjoy getting to hang out with you. Yeah, keep an eye out, Walter. Or yeah, send me your info and I'll be sure to contact you when we head out there. So that'd be fun. What is my theory on time? Is that what? Did I see that right? What is your theory of time? Do you have a minute? I think time is merely just a construct that's created within the because we only have a certain amount of time within the within this simulation created by God for us to be able to come and learn and have this experience. And so, yeah, time is just merely constructed by is a creation of God, and that once we leave this, and that it's only within this the parameters of this reality. But when you leave reality, that time is not a thing. Time is only local. It's not eternal. That's my thought. Um, but it's still relevant to us now because it, because of our progression. It's how we can monitor and understand to be able to think linearly, so that we can have these experiences. Because when you're a spiritual being and you're experiencing things in all of reality, then all of reality and all of time is present at all times. And so you're always learning everything. So you already know everything at the same time that you're experiencing it. So we had to have an experience where we could come and we could learn linearly, through this experience. So it was basically we took that, and so we came to this limited reality so that we could focus on very specific parts of the bigger picture by being able to be exposed to smaller points. So it's really a glorious experience that we're here to have, and hope that you're taking full advantage of your time here. I never heard someone use God and simulation in the same theology, although I believe no one, just God, I believe is beautiful. Yeah, well, I mean, you got to ask yourself, if we are in a simulation, well, who's running the simulation? Who created the simulation? Anyone? 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 Thank you. I believe that's what we call the mic drop. Running nose, love you, bud. Thank you, Jacob. Thank you, Jacob. You guys you're very kind. Thank you. Okay. This has been a lot of fun. Thank you, everybody who's been here. This has been delightful. You guys are amazing. I love all of you. I just don't want to play anymore. As I've said before, let me just say this. I talk to a lot of people who feel this way. They feel frustrated. They feel just don't want to go on anymore. I get it, but you don't want to go on is with the life that you've been living. You're not disappointed with life. You're just disappointed with the version of life that you're in right now. And when you take responsibility for it and you decide, you know what, I don't like the way things are going. I don't like what I'm experiencing, and I want to change it. And you express that, you fully say what it is that you want to do, what it is that you want to be experiencing. You can change your reality. You can change who you are. You can change how you see the world. You can change the circumstances in your life, and you may not feel like that you can. You may feel like you're cornered, but you're not. You're not cornered. You can choose a better life. You can have a better reality, and I hope that 420 mystery. I hope that you find that. I hope that you can find some greater purpose and meaning in your life. Go and if you're not happy with your life and can't decide what to do with it, go find someone else's and make their life better. Just find somebody you like and say, you know what, I'm going to dedicate myself to this person. I'm going to go help them get what they want. And you will find great purpose in just doing that. If you can't figure out your own dream, go help someone else find theirs. There's no there's no disappointment in that when you help other people achieve what they want to achieve, when you help other people get something out of their life. You find yourself, there's a lot of people who've done that and dedicated and found that was the purpose in their life, was finding purpose in other people's lives. So I really wish you the best, my friend. That you're loved and supported. I wish I could give every one of you a hug. I wish I could. I think this is probably one of the difficult things about this is that I want to be a part of your lives. I want you to know that you're loved and appreciated. I want you to know that life is worth living. I want you to know that God lives, that God loves you, and that this life is something beautiful and amazing. And I hope that you're living. I hope that you're embracing it. I hope that you're finding love and just know that you're loved. God, if nothing else, God loves you. And if you've never experienced God before, if you've never felt like, if you feel lonely, if you feel like there's nothing left to live for, if you don't feel like this world has meaning or purpose, or your life has meaning or purpose, and you've never given God a chance, I invite you to do so. I invite you to just, people talk about manifesting and all these other things. You know what that is? That's just asking God. It's basically manifestation is prayer, but you're trying to avoid God. But God's not a fool. God knows what you're doing. God loves you. God wants to bless you, wants to be a part of your life. God wants to give you love. God is there. And if you're really that down and the world has disappointed you, and science has disappointed you, and nihilism has disappointed you, philosophy has disappointed you, all these things have disappointed you. Well, they are going to disappoint you because they are disappointing. Because when you trying to find purpose in a meaningless system, all you find is more meaninglessness. But there is meaning. There is purpose to this life. And I hope that you open your heart, open your mind, that, let go of your ego. When I say kill your ego, what does that mean? Well, that means you humble yourself. And you say, I don't have all the answers. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to know all the mysteries of everything. What you do need to know is that you are loved. You are here for a purpose. You are loved and you appreciated. God knows you. And when you reach out to God, He will return in multitudes to you, my friend. Again, I thank all of you for everything, for your kindness, your outpouring, your just everything. You guys are, I really love you. I'll do, I'll do more on these things because I love philosophy. I love really getting into these deeper questions. And I think we don't talk about these things anymore. Because once you mention God, people start forgetting, how dare you, religion, blah, 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 blah. And I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about you having a personal relationship with God. You can have one. You don't need, churches are great. Churches are helpful. I have nothing against churches. I have nothing against religion. Hey, thank you, Samuel David. I have nothing against anyone who has an animosity towards religion, because religion has been turned against us in so many ways. Religion has been circumvented and has been turned into things that it shouldn't be. It's been used for a power structure. It's been used to oppress people. It's been used to cause wars. Yes, all of that is true. But religion is not what God is. You could find God in religion, and I think religions do. I think churches and organizations can be beneficial. And if they are helping you have a communion and have an association with others and with God, they're great. They're fantastic. If you can find a church or an organization that helps you be a better person, inspires you to be a better person, gives you opportunities to serve, that is fantastic. But you should be able to find God on your own. You don't need an intercessor. You can go to God directly. You can. You can just drop to your knees and pray and ask God yourself. You can have that relationship. You should have that relationship. I think you should find God first and then find a religion. Find a religion that helps you commune with God and then gives you that. That's how I think people should do it. But I'm disappointed with people who completely just say, "Oh, religion's all bad." Blah, blah. That's any organization that's run by human beings is going to have problems. It's going to have mistakes. It's going to have all. And every organization that involves human beings has got problems. That is just gonna happen. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't care who you are. I don't care if it's a political organization, a religious organization, a bowling league, a homeowners association, any organization that involves human beings. You're going to have problems. You're going to have mistakes that are going to be made. You're going to have foibles that are created by men. It's just going to happen. But don't let that dissuade you. There's still a lot of good people who are doing good things. There's still a lot of churches and synagogues and mosques, people who are good-hearted, who to them religion is their expression, their communion with God. It enriches their lives. And for you to go and just completely discredit that just because they worship the severed hand of Saint Ignatius, obviously this is horrible. You're missing so much. You're missing so much. But I also think that you should explore. You shouldn't just be confounded to just one way of thinking. I think that this life is something that we should be using to explore and go. I've read everything: the Torah, the Talmud, the Bible, the various versions. I've several different versions of the Bible. I've read the Quran. I've read Sanskrit. I've been through all of these things and all of the philosophies, and I think you can find God everywhere because God is constantly trying to communicate with all of us. If you want to say the universe, whatever, if that makes you feel better. But trust me, when you think that you're communicating with the universe, don't fool yourself. You're communicating with God. Because if the God is communicating, then what is that communication coming from? Well, it's coming from a source that is all powerful. So you can call it whatever you want and try to make yourself feel smarter, but it's God. Alan Watts. I do like Alan Watts. And the reason I like Alan Watts is because, I think he was really good at being able to combine, basically bring Eastern thought and make it palatable and understandable to a Western mindset. And there's a lot to be learned. I think there's a lot of good things that you can learn from Buddhism and Taoism and Confucius, Shinto. Again, a lot of it comes from that, surrendering the self, basically humbling yourself to the greater reality, as it were. I think there's a lot of just wisdom. I think a lot of his wisdom, his philosophy of this idea that we're constantly chasing things, that we're always constantly trying to prove ourselves to people who don't care. We're trying to impress people who don't care. We're trying to get things that we think that having things are going to solve our problems, and they aren't. And this is even a message that Christ taught. The idea that wherever your heart is, there your treasure will be also. Um, if you're just constantly focused on things, and having, and getting more and more and more, it's a disappointing life. Because once you get there, you have all that stuff. It's never enough. You never have enough. If that's what your entire life is dedicated to, is getting things, and you're never going to stop getting things, and you're never going to be happy, because the only thing that makes you happy is getting more things. And then you just find that when you have more things, where you just have more things to worry about, because you have to protect your stuff. Like my stuff that got stolen. I mean, I can get upset about it. Oh, how dare you, blah, blah. But I'm not attached to that stuff. I'm not, it's not big deal. And that's, I think, was one of the beauties of what Alan Watts is teaching. I don't agree with everything that he said, but I think there's a lot of wisdom in what Alan Watts had to say. And just a lot of it, just in living your life. And just letting go of all the attachments to stuff, and getting hung up on the things and trying to impress people and that don't matter. So, just listen and stop talking. You may learn something. Is that it? Okay. Are you trying to tell me I should end the podcast now? No, that is true. That is true. It's like, I like to tell people, I said, prayer is when we talk to God. Meditation is when we listen. At least if you do meditation correctly. I think when you stop and you calm your mind, and you stop wanting things, you stop desiring things, and you just stop and clear your head and just purely just listen with pure love and pure intent. That's when you're here, and you'll learn. And it's all there. It's all there. Oh, thank you, Jacob. I appreciate that. I don't know that I'll ever actually officially go and declare myself a candidate for president, but I'll probably run a write-in campaign every year. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I know, Kurt. I know what you meant. I know what you meant. I appreciate you. Tracy, love you, sir. Thank you for your wisdom, wishes, and caring, funny heart. You're in my prayers, and I can't thank you enough for making me feel better. Well, thank you, Tracy. I just, that somebody had asked earlier, what's my purpose? And that's really it. I did a podcast, and he had posted a little clip of it. But he had asked me in this podcast why I do what I do. And, I got into comedy. I loved making people laugh, especially when I was younger. My best friend growing up was my mother. I loved my mother. She was so funny, and she was so silly and absent-minded sometimes. But she was doing the best she could. She was raising 6 kids. She was very young. She had 6 kids. Not a lot of money. We never really had the best of anything ever. We lived paycheck to paycheck through most of my childhood. We had a lot of setbacks, fires, and different things. And the one thing that just brought me joy was being able to make my mother laugh, because just make things easier. If I could just make my mom laugh, then she was more relaxed and not so stressed out. And so I saw that as a kid, that my job was to make people laugh and entertain people, and just bring that kind of that joy to others, regardless. And look, I didn't have a great childhood. I mean, I did have a great childhood. Don't get me wrong, but I had a lot of stuff. I mean, if I could sit here and lament all the horrible, terrible things about my childhood, but I there was no reason to. I'm not a victim of my childhood. I learned from my childhood, and I had fun. I had brothers and sisters that I love dearly. I still have a great relationship with every one of my brothers and sisters. Two sisters and my three brothers. We are still very close, and I love them dearly. I mean, but that I saw that, and early on, I just loved making people laugh, and I just felt like that was my, because I'm not the smartest guy in the world. I'm not gonna create, I'm not gonna come up with break new ground in physics. I'm not gonna create electric cars. I don't have a mind for that. But what I do have is an understanding of people and life, and man, I just love. I'm gonna take what I can do and do what I can with it. I believe that this was I'm whatever it is that I have, I believe is a gift from God, and I'm going to try to use it. I feel like uh, I failed in a lot of ways. That it's taken me so long to finally do anything. It's what it feels like. I uh, I mean, and with all the success I'm having, I feel like I'm grateful, but I still feel like I should be doing more. I should be doing better. I could be doing more. I could be doing better. And so, um, that's something I'm dealing with. I'm trying to not be so lazy. I need to get off my butt a little bit more, get more active. So, so that's it. That's it. That's what's what I'm doing. Um, I mean, I have a lot of people that I grew up with that are very successful and doing amazing things with their lives and have been for many years. And I mean, I literally have just decided, uh, literally my calling in life is to goof off and help others do the same. And when that's your calling, it's kind of hit or miss. So, but I love religion. I love theology. I love philosophy. I love teaching. I love educating people about how to think and what to think and when to think. And inspire. I like to inspire people to think. I love to inspire people to be creative and to do wonderful things with their lives, and just get outside of themselves and let go of your ego, let go of your pride. Just humble yourself and just get out there and just love the life and just be happy. Be happy, because when you're out doing things and engaging yourself, that's where you're progressing. That's where you're growing. I mean, you can sit all this time sitting around trying to do all these self improvement things, which are important and good and beneficial. But really, where you will find progress is when you just get outside of yourselves and just start moving and start doing things and just stop thinking about why you're depressed. Stop thinking about dumb things that aren't important. Stop thinking about stuff that you can't do anything about, and just start doing things that you can do. Get and just get out there and just live your life and have fun. Get hot coffee and a yeah, that's I don't know. Or you could just start getting an appropriate dose of fiber and magnesium citrate in your diet. Then you wouldn't need the 3 enemas a day. Just so you know. Anyway, you guys have been amazing, and I appreciate you. Thank you, Shauna. Thank you, everybody. You guys have been amazing. But I got to go do make some videos and stuff and do some things. You guys have been amazing. Thank you so much for the gifts. Thank you for your time, and everything. You guys are amazing. I hope you're having an amazing life. And if you're not, just change. You can just change. Anyway, love you. Have a super freaking awesome day.